What is up, guys? It is the Sports Nerd Bradley Walker, and welcome to the Walker Report, part of In the Zone Sports Talk Radio, part of NGSC Sports, guys. Remember the website, it's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. We are sponsored by creatingzenspaces.com, the local choice in St. Petersburg, Florida for house cleaning, organization, decluttering, and pet sitting. It's about finding the peace within you and adding comfort to your life. And remember, Zen Spaces begins with you. Be kind to yourself and one another. We are also sponsored by Garrett's Carrots via NGSC Sports. What's up, guys? As you can see, I don't have my green screen up. I'm trying to get the video to run in hopes that my internet doesn't crash like it has been doing the last few weeks. I've gone back to the old background. As you can see behind me, I don't have the green screen up. But anyway, guys, hopefully everyone out there is having a great Thursday. Again, we're almost through the week again. As mentioned, we will be redoing the 2000 show over again. My screen that I normally put my notes on is not working, so it's one thing after another recently. But I will try to still read those, and then, of course, we're going to cover the NFC. We covered the AFC last week on the show last week. So let me bring on both Adam and Lewis. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Brad. I'm okay, Lou.
How are we doing this evening?
Okay. All right.
I just heard a noise downstairs, and I had to go check it out because I live alone. And there shouldn't be noises downstairs.
You have an ammuniac?
No. The AC grate had fallen over, so
Oh.
I heard a noise downstairs. Had to go make sure that there wasn't, somebody in here that wasn't supposed to be in here.
Right.
Usually murderers don't call out to you, so. Yeah, right. Yep, he has a knife.
We witnessed a murder live on one of our shows. There we go.
Here's
Right.
Johnny.
Yeah, here's Johnny's right.
Yeah, right. So that's why I dropped off so
Right.
quick. So
How are you guys doing?
other than that, I'm fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna try the old school background for now because
Looks
it seems
good right
I
now.
like it.
It seems to be working.
Dark.
Yeah, I tried to. If I turn, is that better? I don't want to white out my face. So
Yeah, that's pretty good.
do you want me to put my lights back on? I mean, I could try that. Do that
Yeah,
too if you
okay.
want. I can.
Yeah.
I didn't
let's do
put
that.
the lights on because.
Well, I know there's a photograph also.
Just a second. Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can get those lights on real quick.
All right. We do it all live, man. We don't have pre-production meetings.
No,
No,
production
that's
at
what
all.
neither do I.
None at all.
Uh,
Let's see if I can get the other-
7-3 right now.
which game are you watching? Are you watching Patriots Giants?
The Giants and them, as I call it.
I'm flipping
Then-
back. I'm flipping back and forth because the Titans are playing tonight, so I get that game too.
Which game?
Titans Ravens.
Oh, that's on now?
I get it because it's my local team.
I was gonna say he's in Tennessee.
Okay, I thought that was a later game.
It's on now. No, it started at 7:30.
Okay. That's on your local station. All right, I get it now.
Yep. It's a local game for me, so it's
Yeah.
on my NBC affiliate.
Yeah. Just like mine is on my NBC affiliate.
Mm.
I'm busy watching the Cubs and the Reds game tonight, though. I mean, I know it's a Field Dreams game, but they're two horrible teams. I don't think anybody's going to really
I
miss
know,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, is that why there's a game? Is that the game? Okay. I was
Yeah.
wondering why there was a game on Fox on a Thursday night.
Yeah. The Field of Dreams game, but believe me.
There we go. There we go.
That's much better. There we go.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Hey, we
cool.
can see you, bud.
Cool. All right, cool. That's much
It
better. I
works.
Yeah, that looks
I
great.
like the way that the colors come out too in the background. Too.
Yeah, everything pops real nice.
Right.
Well, it could be the until I can get my computer to work or the internet not to crash. I'll have to.
Yeah.
Uh,
Looks
Been
great
there
though.
before.
All TV hosts even has bloopers. Who is this? This has got to be Rich, right? I'm assuming that this is
I'll
who this
bet.
is.
Probably.
Good evening, guys. Good evening, whoever that is. Good evening to you as well.
It's got to be him.
Assume it's Rich.
I don't know why my other screen isn't working properly. Oh, maybe that would be why. Hang on a second. Oh, there we go. I got my screen to work again. Okay, that makes it a lot easier. Okay,
Cool.
see,
Right.
we just gotta wing it right off the get go to get it.
Right.
We gotta do. We gotta wing it.
Fake it till you make it, right?
There we go. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. See, as you can see, guys, I'm not. It's not. It's moving. It's crisp. It's not stopping and.
It's not stuttering. It's not.
Right.
Yeah,
No
I was
lag.
with that. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay. It's my. I know who it is. Okay.
You're a photographer friend.
Yeah, he's the one that could possibly get credentialed with me to USF. I'll hear about that
Wow.
within the next couple weeks or so. We can pick up our credentials on the 22nd. If you didn't hear, Luke, because I don't think I told you because you went off the air, starting next Friday, I'm going to be a co-announcer for a local high school football team.
No kidding.
So yeah, that starts next week. So I'll be a nervous friggin' wreck next Friday.
Right.
Why?
Don't screw it up. Don't do this. Don't
Don't
say
worry
that.
about it. Don't worry about it.
Two
So
deep
where do you
breaths
guys-
and just
Where do you
two
guys?
deep breaths. Don't
Yeah.
two deep breaths and let the rough side drag. Just don't say any bad words. You'll be all right.
Right. So you're doing some Friday Night Lights, huh?
Friday Night Lights. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw that TikTok of that coach of the Little League World Series, the Tennessee coach that came out on the mound and said to his pitcher, "Smell the roses." Blow out the candles. That was a cool thing to see.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see how those coaches, help their kids. They don't yell at them. They don't scream at them.
Right. Doing it the right way to keep the
Correct.
kids having fun and wanting to come back next year.
Which is what they should do. It's
Exactly.
one thing to discipline, but it's another thing to be abusive.
Yeah. These are.
They're kids. You can't yell at them. They're kids. You don't want to
But
scare
there's
them.
a fine line. No, but there's a fine line between discipline and abuse.
Correct.
Well, I was going to say they're 10, 11, 12 years old. They're not grown men, and to expect them to be, as I was briefly brought up on the end of Gerald's show right before I hopped out of there, was these high school kids were getting just abused by the other team. They didn't know whether they were coming or going.
Mm.
And the caption on the video was something along the lines of making them, do suicides and on Monday. I'm like, these are high school kids in some podunk little town, and they're just out there to play football and have a good time. And this is why kids don't want to play sports anymore. This is directly leaning to kids not wanting, kids giving up the game when they're 14, 15, 16 because these parents preach it like it's some kind of, it's if you're not Tom Brady, if you don't have the same drive as Tom Brady, so many these parents out here think that their kids, you just want to go out there and play sports and have a good time, and your parents think you're the next Tom Brady or Orlando Pace in the case of an offensive lineman.
Orlando Pace.
They expect you to have the same work ethic and mentality as a top tier NFL talent, and it's like, I just wanted to go play some football and have some fun with my friends. Screw you guys. I'm just not going to play anymore.
I saw a documentary. About young kids playing golf, and how their parents are trying to get them to be the next Tiger Woods, the next Michelle Wie, or whatever. And it's like, I learned how to play golf when I was young. My uncle never pushed me. He never pushed me to practice. He said, "You'll find time to go practice when you want to do it. If you love the game, you'll go practice. If you don't, then you don't. I'm not going to force you to go practice."
and that's the idea about for me is that sports is supposed to be fun, especially the young kids.
Yes.
And then I understand. If you're thinking of trying to make a go at sports of being, if you're being recruited to a D1 school, whether it's Alabama or Kansas, having to put in the work to do it. I get that. I 100% am on board. But these poor kids are just, they look like this rinky-dink little podunk high school that maybe had 1,000 students, and they were the only ones who wanted to
Yes.
who wanted to play. They're and they were just trying to play football. Were they any good? No. But that doesn't mean you kill them. It doesn't mean that they do suicides or up downs or hill climbs. That's not going to teach them anything. It just, to me, and it's so fun, this mentality of, and we talked about this on I think I was on Gerald's show when I is that football is a brutal game anyway, and parents, especially moms don't want their kids getting hurt.
No.
And football is such an inherently violent and dangerous sport that, if practice is violent and dangerous and no fun,
imagine what the game's going to be.
Then the game's not going to be any more fun than that.
Correct. Yeah, you definitely shouldn't, because what you're going to do is if you push them or you yell at them, they're not going to want to play.
No, I'm just going to shut down and find something else to do that I don't get yelled at for.
Yep, correct. They're not going to want to play. They're not going to want to play sports anymore, and that sucks because a lot of the sports, like a football, a lot of them that are team sports rely on the youth to keep them alive. You scare them away, there's not going to be any, football or hockey in the future because, like Adam said, mothers don't want their kids getting hurt. They don't want to get concussions and CTE and all that stuff that's happening, now. Well, guys, real quick, do you guys want to start with the 2000 thing, or do you want to go ahead and preview the NFC? Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the 2000 thing, and we'll get into the NFC at the end of the show, like we usually do.
Yeah.
All right. So here, let's start with this. Now, these events, guys, are from 2000 to 2009.
Okay.
So let's hope that my computer will let me open these things without it crashing. I hope. So let's see here. So in 2000, May 24th, 2000, former Pakistani captain Salim Malik is banned for life for match fixing. Several teammates, including the 1999 World Cup captain Wasim Hakim, are censored. Hassan Khan and Mohammed Azhar, the former leaders of South Africa and Indian, respectively, are also banned for life in this year. I'm not sure what he fixed. I'm not sure what that was, what sport that was.
Probably soccer.
Could be soccer, could be cricket.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe cricket.
Yeah.
September 15th to October 1st of 2000, Kathy Freeman lights the Sydney Olympic flame in a symbol of reconciliation between abnormal Australians and the European settlers. She goes on to win Australia's only track gold in the 400 meters. Her teammate Ian Thorpe wins 3 Olympic golds and 3 silvers in a pool. And American sprinter Marion Jones wins 3 gold and 2 bronze in track and field. So there you go.
Wouldn't she get busted for drugs?
I believe she did.
Yes.
I believe she did.
I don't know if it was at that Olympics or just or in the 2004 Olympics. I don't remember now.
April 8th of 2001, Tiger Woods becomes the first man to hold all 4 of golf's modern major titles at the same time, sealing a 2-stroke win at Augusta, the Masters on the 18th hole with a birdie. 2002, June 8th, Lennox Lewis systematically destroys Mike Tyson in 8 rounds to confirm beyond doubt he is the best heavyweight boxer of this era.
Whoop ass.
I don't know.
Watching that. June 30th, Ronaldo, who had battled against injury for the previous 2.5 years, scores the 2 goals, which gives Brazil victory over Germany in the Soccer World Cup final. in Yokohama, Japan. Brazil wins a record fifth title, and Ronaldo's eighth goal of the tournament brings him with compare Pele's World Cup tally of 12. So that's interesting. That was in 2002. 2003, in August, Pete Sampras retires at the age of 32 after winning a record 14 Grand Slam tennis titles. Of course, I think it's owned by Djokovic, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that
Joker.
Sounds right, yeah.
Let's see here. Some of these I don't even know what it is, so I'm going to skip. I'm not going to talk about all of these. July 24th, 2005, Lance Armstrong narrowly avoids a crash just before entering the Champs-Élysées to win a record 7th consecutive Tour de France, then retires at the age of 33. After dabbling in a variety of over pursuits, he makes a comeback in 2009, finishing a credible third. We all know the result of that because he got busted.
Another drugs.
September 10th, 2006, Michael Schumacher announces he will retire at the end of the Formula One season after winning the Italian Grand Prix, the 90th career victory for the 37-year-old German. Wow. Did he end with 90, or did he win any more after that?
I think that was his last win.
Last win? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. September 20, 2007, American Tour de France champion Floyd Landis is banned for 2 years after U.S. arbitration panel found him guilty of doping violations. Hey, Adam, you just mentioned it, buddy, early. October 5th, 2007, Marion Jones admits in a U.S. federal court that she used steroids for the 2000 Sydney Olympics. There you go.
I thought it was the 2000 Olympics. Yep. Correction, Mick would win, or Michael would win one more.
91. Okay, so
he finished with 91. I had to look it up. I couldn't remember offhand.
July 6th, Rafael Nadal defeats Roger Federer in an epic rain-interrupted 5-set Wimbledon final to become the first man since Bjorn Borg in 1980 to win the French Open Wimbledon titles in the same year.
Wow.
I just wrote an article about the 1980 match between Borg and McEnroe. Head over to NGSC Sports, guys, if you want to take a read at that, but I just wrote an article about that. July 5th, 2009, Federer overcomes Andy Roddick in a marathon 5-set Wimbledon final to score a record-breaking 15th Grand Slam title.
Wow.
Gerald said he will be late. He's making dinner. That's no problem, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
September 21st, 2009, Formula One team Renault, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, are given a suspended 2-year ban after admitting to race fixing at the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix. Nelson Piquet deliberately crashed on lap 13 of 14, allowing teammate Fernando Alonso to move into the lead. Behind the safety car after refilling, Alonso went on to win the race. So they were suspended for 2 years after that?
Yeah, they got a 2-year ban for that.
Yep. For setting up a win for their team?
Yeah, for fixing the race so that the other driver could win. Yep.
Gotcha.
They do it every time. And the FIA don't play. The FIA don't play.
Right.
Them jokers, they don't play.
Nope.
Well, that was...
So here are the 100 best moments of the 2000s.
Okay.
So let me spin down here real quick and try to go through all 100. See what they say.
Get the highlights, the ones that we'll know, and we'll give me the number and the moment.
Number 100. Number 100 was on May 7th of 2002. The Practice with Allen Iverson. Was that?
Oh, what a moment! That's so iconic. So iconic. I still quote that to this day.
Yep.
Practice.
Yep.
Practice? We're talking about practice. We're not even talking about a game. We're talking about practice.
Correct.
Similar to playoffs. Playoffs? Yeah, playoffs.
I think that was 98, wasn't that? Maybe that was 2000, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think it was. Playoffs.
We're just trying to win a game.
December 11th of 2008, John Daly
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
It was 2001.
I guess grabbed the camera and smashed it.
Oh, Kenny Rogers? Remember that.
Okay, September 6th of 2009. I think we'll skip that one. My September 11th of 2009. On October 3rd of 2008, Kelly Slater wins 9 world record surfing titles.
Oh yeah.
That's something we don't always talk about.
Not a big fan of surfing.
Let's see. I always wanted to try it. September 14th, 2008, Ed Hockley screws up.
As usual. Sorry, Ed.
On August 7, 2007, Adam Pac-Man Jones joins TNA.
Yeah.
I forgot he did that.
But he got shot.
Yeah.
Well, he was always a jobber, wasn't he?
Oh. Sure.
Let's see here. On December 2008, when Big Baby Davis cries on the bench for the Boston Celtics. September 23rd, Bledsoe injured, a.k.a. of the Tom Brady era. September 7, 2008, Tom Brady's season-ending injury. The knee injury. I remember
Thanks.
that. Yep.
Not exactly a good moment.
No.
No.
October 19, 2004, Kurt Schelling's bloody sock in the ALCS
That was a
against
good
the
moment.
Sock. Yep.
What a game. What a gutsy performance.
2003 to 2008, the rise of Kimbo Slice. He
Mm.
passed away.
Yeah,
He's
what,
not alive anymore.
2011?
Yeah, I think he passed away. Yeah. September 24, 2000, T.O. celebrates on the Dallas Star while being part of the 49ers.
16.
Remember that?
What a moment.
Number 78. On July 10, 2008, Manny Ramirez in-game cell phone call from the Green Monster. I remember that. He went
Manny
to the
being
Monster.
Manny.
Manny being Manny. October 17th, 2005, the NBA mandates a dress code.
Yeah.
That's
I
I have underwear.
Yeah.
I remember that. Because
Yes.
everybody was complaining about how they were all thugs and drug dealers. They looked
Right.
terrible.
right.
Controversy.
June 1st, 2007, minor league manager goes nuts. Philip Wellman of the Mississippi Braves goes crazy after a bad call. You can watch that YouTube clip anyway.
Oh yeah, if you haven't seen that one, you got to. It's great.
You're sure you
Yeah.
want to?
Oh, dude. He grabs a rosin bag and pretends to pull the pin out of it and flings it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
grenade.
Oh, yuck.
Let's see.
Ugh.
See, a lot of these, it says, I'm not going to mention that one.
Oh.
October 5th, 2000, Ricky Ankiel's NLCS pitching meltdown. Remember that quite well.
Yes.
He suffered. January 9th, 2005, Randy Moss moons Packers fans. I remember Joe Bucks. That's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I remember
Next
that.
year, calling games. God.
March 11, 2004, Todd Bertuzzi cheap shot Steve Moore
Oh yeah.
Vancouver.
That was horrible.
Colorado Avalanche. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that.
Right. Yep.
July 4th, 2007, Joey Chestnut defeats Kobayashi in the hot dog eating contest on the 4th
Yeah.
of July.
So gross.
Whoopee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gluttony is now a sport.
I agree with that.
It's just I can't. It makes me want to throw up every time.
I don't even watch it.
So gross.
All right, let's see. January 31st, 2009, Michael Phelps takes a bong hit after he won his 8th gold medal in the Beijing Summer Games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember
Wow.
that being super controversial.
Yes.
Yep. April 18th, 2009, the Rick Pitino sex scandal. He was at Louisville.
Yes.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah.
Here we go. February 12, 2006, Sean Taylor's Pro Bowl hit on punter Brian Moorman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of the beginning of the end of the Pro Bowl, wasn't it?
Correct. I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah. August 4th, 2006, Travis Pastrana lands double backflip on a bike. I think he did bikes. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, motorcycle.
Yep. Okay.
One of the greatest to ever do it.
And that's gotta hurt.
Yep. Let's see here.
Nah, because he made it. He hit
September 10th, 2007, Patriots Spygate.
it. Ah,
I'm not a crook. Yes, you are.
Oh, here we go, guys. October 16th, 2006, Denny Green's They Are Who We Thought They Were. I remember
Yeah,
that press.
Here we love the heart.
Yep,
you want to crown their asses? Then crown them.
correct. Yep.
It's a great moment.
Classic.
I went to bed. Because it was 2007, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I went to bed before that game. I went to bed at the half. And I got up the next morning and I found out the Cardinals had lost. And I saw that. It was like, that might be the greatest moment in press conference history. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
March
Poor Denny
24th,
Green.
2001, Randy Johnson kills Bird with fastball.
Yep.
Uh, breaking hearts and murdering birds. That's what he
Here
did.
you go. Here's another
Bird.
press conference. October 30th, 2002, Herm Edwards, you play to win the
Win
game.
the game.
Oh, you play to
You
win the
play
game.
to win the game.
Well, it's true.
I'm-
It's true.
You
I'm-
play to
To
win
the game.
the game.
Another classic press conference, September 22nd, 2007, Mike Gundy goes off on reporter.
I was
I'm 40.
going to bring that. I was going to bring that up. I'm 40. I'm a man.
Oh, man.
Yep, that was that
Okay.
one. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, there we go, guys. On October 22nd, 2000, Roger Clemens throws broken bat at Mike Piazza.
Oh, yeah.
That whole fiasco.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a big to do about that one, wasn't there?
The Subway Series.
September 15th, 2008, Deshaun Jackson's early celebration on Monday Night Football.
That was unforgivable. Unforgivable. And he did it in college too. He did it in the armed services. It was the All-American, the Army All-American Bowl thing. And he had this terrible habit of dropping the ball at the 1 yard line.
That he did.
Where you go, stupid?
Get in the damn end zone.
Get in the end zone. That's what we're supposed to do. The 1 yard line. We did.
April
Right.
26, 2006, Delman Young throws bat at umpire. AAA Durham Bulls. That's the affiliate to the Rays. So
I
that's
remember Delman Young.
Old Durham.
He
Delman
was
Young. Yeah, Durham,
he was
exactly.
an interesting character.
Yep.
Delman Young. Didn't he
Let's
play in Tampa for a little while? He got the call.
He did, but then he went to Detroit. He played with the Tigers for a while too.
Yep. And then we had Carlos Pena for a little while, and then he went to Tampa.
Yes, you did. That's right.
Correct. On
2006.
October 25th, 2006, Chad Johnson becomes Ocho Cinco.
Oh, what a joke.
8-5 because math apparently.
Yes.
He
December
was a
28th,
character.
2008, the Detroit Lions go 0-16.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing up such a painful memory. Why don't you give me a nice paper cut and rub lemon juice in it? We're closed.
Yeah.
March 24th, 2007, Peyton Manning hosts SNL.
I like that. It's one of my favorite SNL skits.
Yeah.
Play with your kids so Peyton Manning doesn't have to.
That's right.
Oh, it makes me laugh every
let's see.
time. Makes me laugh every time.
March 17th, 2005, McGuire, Sosa, Palmeiro, and Clemens all testified before Congress.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I never understood why Congress cared. I always thought that Congress had more important things to do than worry about baseball.
Well, don't forget, Congress was the one that caused on the 894 lockout.
Yes. Again, I always thought Congress had more important things to do than worry about baseball.
That was a slow year there in 2004 for them. So
Yeah, apparently. Didn't have anything more pressing, important issues to deal with. Like
right.
September 12th, 2009, Serena Williams curses out a U.S. Open judge. I remember watching her blow up at that line judge.
Doing her female impersonation of McEnroe.
Yep,
right.
Correct.
That ball was out. Damn it.
It was in. It was in. It was in.
October 19th, 2004, A-Rod swipes Bronson Arroyo's glove against the Red Sox.
Yep.
Let's see here. We have August 10, 2005, Terrell Owens' driveway workout, where he was practicing doing it exercise in the drive. September 4, 2009, Oregon's LeGarrette Blount punches Boise State player after the game.
I remember that. Yep. I watched that live. I was just dumbstruck. You know, I always liked the underdog, and so I was rooting for Boise State, and it just out of the blue, just punched him in the head for no apparent reason.
Mm-hmm.
October 14, 2006, Miami and Florida Internationals brawl in a bowl game.
Yeah.
13 players were ejected.
That wasn't.
I remember that. I remember that fight.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that fight. Let's see here. Oh, there you go. December 20th, 2003, drunk Joe Namath hits on Suzy Kolber. Monday Night Football.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. August 16, 2008, Usain Bolt sets 9.69 world record at the Olympics.
To be outdone by his twin, Usain Bolt.
Yep. Oh, here's a bad moment for Pedro Martinez. October 13, 2003, tosses Don Zimmer. That was a bad for Pedro Martinez.
Yep.
Yep. And number one happened on November 19, 2004, the Malice at the Palace.
I was wondering if that was going to be on there.
Yep. Ron Artest goes into the stands.
Yep.
Yep. Correct.
That was that. That's a case of there's no bad press as long as they spell your name right.
Now, was that before or after changing the Meta World Disaster area?
He was the artist. He was the artist now formerly known as Ron Artest at that point.
After the formerly known as Prince. No. Okay.
Okay, so these guys are the best sports moments from 2010 to 2019. This is right before the world kind of went down. Number 10, Mayweather-McGregor in 2017.
Sure.
That was good.
Clemson tops Alabama to win the national championship at Raymond James Stadium. I remember that.
Yeah, that was good.
2016, the Cubs end their long World Series drought of 100 years.
Sucked.
Yep. Villanova wins national title on Curtis Jenkins' buzzer beater in 2007.
A buzzer, I remember that. Yep. I almost dropped dead that night.
Eagles pull off Philly special win. First Super Bowl in 2018. Yep, I remember that. Oh, there's the famous kick six. Chris Davis Jr. returns it against Auburn versus Alabama
Yep.
the Iron Bowl at the end of the
Oh
game.
yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, wait. So they got the ball. No, he's not gonna get it. No, wait, no. Oh my God, what the?
The Auburn call is incredible.
Yes. Yep.
Sickening.
Tiger Woods wins the 2019 Masters. I'll have to admit that I was crying profusely when I saw him do that.
Not a dry eye in the house.
Yeah.
2012, Michael Phelps sets Olympic record for medals.
Yep.
2015, Malcolm Butler steals Super Bowl with a goal line interception over the Seahawks. Still can't believe that. And the
Yeah,
number
I
one moment, the Patriots come back to win the Super Bowl after being down 28-3.
He cheated. He cheated.
So that is that. Okay, let's see
He
here.
played all the footballs.
Let's see. Here I'm gonna try to go through. I got a couple more links, guys, with the 2000 thing. We can go through them. This is the New York Times. This is the best and worst moments of the year 2000.
Okay.
Let's see what they have here.
Okay,
I got it broken down. Well, looks like all they're talking about is the Subway Series. That is
Sure.
what was listed down here. Rare in sports that lives American football almost never do World Cup can be declared. And there, yeah, it looks like that was just the Subway Series. Sorry, just a second.
Mm-hmm.
What year did that happen, Lou? What year did they meet in the World Series?
2000. They won on 5 games. Piazza,
2000.
it
Okay.
was the last chance for the Mets to stay alive. Piazza hit a deep fly ball, but Bernie Williams got under it with enough room, and Yankees won their 3rd straight World Series. I'm like, we got the Subway Series, bullseye.
Bernie Williams
Right.
is underrated.
Oh, there's one right there. 2006, the headbutt in the World Cup between, I think that was France and Italy.
Yep,
Correct me
my
if
head
I'm
was
wrong.
just
Was that
thinking about it.
the
Yeah, that was
okay.
nuts.
Yeah.
2006, this USC Bowl, Texas came back to win the national championship that year.
Mhm.
Yeah. The Boston Celtics incredible turnaround, 2007 to 2008. That's when.
Yep.
What's his name? Garber's championship, correct?
Much to my dismay, yes.
Correct me. Celtics. Not A-Rod. The BCS consistently fails to work properly from 1998 to present.
The BCS is, of course,
Number 17, the Yankees in tragedy in 2001 when they lost to the Diamondbacks.
Yeah. Yuck.
Pat for military 2004.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. The biggest rugby fan. The lockout from 2004 to 2005 for the NHL.
Yeah.
There's the Malice at the Palace again. Tim Donahue, is that what it was?
Yeah, Donahue.
Tries to
Donahue.
ruin basketball. The referee.
Fix the
Okay.
game.
Yeah. Hacking Kobe three-peat from 2002. Yep. LeBron James knocks on the door of immortality. 2003.
Hello.
Brett Favre becomes the greatest quarterback in history, then refuses to leave with the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
Let's see.
I always thought Favre was a little overrated.
2001, the Dale Earnhardt Senior Track.
Yes.
Yep.
I was watching it at a restaurant that day. I'm like, I was trying to have my, oh wow, this is awful.
I can't believe he's gone.
2007, almost perfect. The Patriots finished 18-1.
Yeah. Whoops.
Let's see. Barry Bonds home runs in
Right
2001 to 2004.
I shall return momentarily.
Okay. Well, sort of,
Right.
a home run because we don't know if it's actually legit or not. Some argue that.
Correct. 2004, the broken curse. The Red Sox finally end the curse of that in 04.
Yuck.
Steroids in baseball is what's kind of started in the 2000s as well.
Right.
Let's see here real quick. Maybe a couple more links here, Lou. We can.
You haven't mentioned. They haven't mentioned any hockey or basketball moments in those years.
Other than the Maoist thing, yeah, I'm trying to look at that. We have 2007
Mike can name you a
Boise
few.
State basketball, the Statue of Liberty play.
I can name you a few.
Go ahead, Lou. Go ahead.
Well, Game 5, Lakers against the Sacramento. Robert Horry hits a 3-pointer for the win, and I almost dropped to the floor. It's like there's no way to get out. I mean, give it to Shaq.
Yes, I remember that. Okay.
Horry for the win. Yes! Oh man, I was in a bar that night, and was waiting for. I'm gonna check to see the end of the game here. Because first of all, they were down by 25 points, and okay, they have no way. There's no way they're gonna come back from this. Well, we got a game here. So down in the final minutes, Horry gets a shot from and I almost passed down in the restaurant. What? What was that?
How many rings did Robert Horry end up winning in his career? It was pretty high.
Yeah,
6 or 7, right? I think.
Yeah, almost as much as Jordan.
I was gonna say at least, and he wasn't even a full-time starter. He was a bench guy.
No. Yeah.
Or did I get that wrong?
No, you got it right. But I'll say one thing: if Jack Buck would have called a game, he'd be like, I don't believe what I just saw. I didn't believe it either.
Let's see here.
Or the Devils in 2000 being the Dallas Stars in double overtime on a goal by Scott Gomez in double overtime. Oh yeah,
correct. Yep.
I saw that game.
Let's see here.
And that was the night choice after they had to play a 3 overtime game, and Dallas won that. I'm like, oh, brother. Well, at least the game was over.
59-year-old Tom Watson comes in second at the 2009 British Open. Yep. I remember that. Stuart Sink, I think, ended up winning that one.
I'm like, Watson, either.
Aaron Boone's Game 7 home run to lift Yankees over Red Sox in the 2003 ALCS.
Now, I got a story for you on that one. I may have told you this, but my friend and I were coming home because it was kind of late, so we turned on the radio broadcast, and as soon as we go to the driveway, swing out to right center field. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. And my friend and I were going berserk, and we woke up the whole neighborhood. It's like
he hit it off Tim Wakefield.
Yeah,
hit it off Tim Wakefield.
You might have thought we came home drunk. Even my mom, you saw it. You know, right? Yes. We were absolutely berserk. My friend and I, as we drove up, JoJo, I think somehow, holy mackerel, we won it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it that's just the way it was.
Oh,
that's exactly the way.
But the Joe Buck show any emotion? No, because he's a Yankee hater.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Joe Buck is a Yankee hater. Do you think he cared? No.
No, yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Of course not.
Let's see here. Lakers beat Spurs in Game 5 of conference semifinals with Derek Fisher's 0.04 second shot in 2004.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to see U.S. soccer shocked Spain in the Confederate Cup semifinal in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Let's see here.
Oh.
Mine that bird pulls off the greatest Kentucky Derby upset in 2009.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't see too many hockey or NBA stuff
They left out one in 2010, which I'm
Still
very
look.
ashamed. Which I'm very ashamed of.
Go ahead.
World Cup, Game 3. Well, Game 3 of the preliminary round. Landon Donovan hits a rocket and wins the game for the U.S. The game,
Right.
Yeah. And we were watching. We were on a break from class, and like, wow. I mean, because they needed that game.
Yes, here you go, Lou. The top 20 moments. This is Bleacher Report of the 2000s. Mario Chalmers may have 2 NBA championship rings, but he certainly never had a bigger moment than the one he had on April 7, 2008. Kansas Jayhawks oh, that's college football. He hit a winning shot. Yeah, see, Memphis leading 62-60 and 10.8 seconds in the game. Derrick Rose made just one of 2 key free throws for the Tigers, putting them up 63-60. Chalmers drained a 3 with 2.1 seconds remaining in the game. Kansas wore them down in overtime and won the game 75-68. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You have in 2008 the David Tyree helmet catch.
Oh yeah.
Eli Manning. That was in 2008. Oh, here we go. I forgot all about this one. January 8th, 2000. The Music City Miracle.
Yes.
Tennessee Titans getting the kickoff return. Yep.
Shocker.
2002, Mario Lemieux's comeback, helping the Canadian team win a gold medal.
Yep.
Did not know that.
Yuck.
Did not know that.
It's us.
Yeah, I know, against the United States. Adam Vinatieri in 2002 hits the game-winning field goal.
Yeah. It's like,
that
we're
was
going
the
over
game.
Like, they say we're going to. No, hold on a second, guys. I can make this. Don't worry about it. Where are we now? Just throw a rocket. Where are we? 45 for this? Yeah, no problem. Give me the ball.
Yep.
Here you go. Game over.
Oh, here we go, Lou. 2005. The late, great Pat Summitt has her 880th win to break Dean Smith's record against Purdue.
Great coach.
That might be the only great thing that came out of the University of Tennessee. Just saying. Appalachian State upsets Michigan on September 1st, 2007. Forgot all about that. Yep. Forgot all about that. Let's see here.
I refuse to acknowledge that happened.
Okay.
2009, Marty Brodeur surpasses Patrick Waugh.
Yep.
551 wins as a goaltender. Wow. Here we go. 2006, Kobe drops 81. Wow.
Right.
81 points. Okay. Oh, I forgot all about there's one in 2008. 2 softball players from Central Washington move in on a nation and they're inspiring active sportsmanship. Western Oregon player sprained her ankle heading around first base, and they walked her around the bases to score.
Right.
Yep, I remember that. I remember watching that on TV.
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't think I saw it, though.
That is basically that. I was trying to find some basketball and hockey ones that we could talk about.
Yeah.
Some off the wall reason when I am looking this stuff up.
Yeah.
For some off the wall reason, it's only. All right, hang on a second. Here we go. 50 greatest sports moments from the early 2000s. Maybe it's in here. Let's see if there's something here, Lou, that I'm actually, because my cable's not working, 19 Wimbledon final board. Let's see here. Oh, there you go. Step over. Tyronn Lue. Remember that game with the Lakers and the Sixers? Remember that?
Yep.
Stepped over the top of him after he made a shot. Then remember that with the Colorado Avalanche. He left Boston to go to Colorado to win the Stanley Cup.
Yes.
I don't know what that means. Wow. Okay. Dude. World Cup, David Beckham, each time for England.
Mhm.
Aaron McNair, the almost greatest drive in the fight. His dad passed away. 399 touchdowns. What else?
Howard Cross.
Trying. Just-
Jump back over there. No, wait, that's the wrong stupid channel.
Actually, the Titans game was on the NFL Network, so I can catch it from there too.
Yeah, I think I got the Giants Patriots because the Titans are my local team, so I get
Right.
my local team on my local affiliate.
Reverse for me.
Right, because the Giants would be your.
In the 2000. Because I don't know any moments that happened in the NBA or NHL. I mean, the Lightning won their first Stanley Cup in 2004.
Yeah,
I do remember that. That's before the
I was
lockout
thinking.
happened.
I was thinking about Carolina winning in 06. It just seems so freaking random.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. They beat the Edmonton Oilers finals.
Yeah,
that year.
thankfully.
They lost this year too.
That's it. With the last Canadian team to win a cup was the Canadiens, right? 94,
In 93.
93.
When they beat Gretzky's Kings.
Yep.
Correct.
Because McSorley's stick was had an illegal curve.
Don't I know it?
2 minutes. They got a power play goal and never looked back. And then Waugh gets nine goals scored and 7 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then he walks off.
Skates off the ice. Was Jock the GM there? I want to say it was Jock.
I think you're right.
He goes, "You never play another game in Montreal."
Yep.
And his thick Canadian accent. I can't do Patrick Waugh. It just sounds like horrible Russian or horrible French accent. My favorite Patrick Waugh one. I don't think this is 2000. I think this is in. Oh no, it must have been 2000. Yeah, it must have been 2001, 2002. Was because he had his 2 rings at that point, so it was like 2001, 2002. And some reporter asked him a question about somebody had been chirping him, and he said, "I couldn't hear him over my 2 Stanley Cup rings in my ears."
Yeah.
I was obviously him playing in Montreal and Colorado. I wasn't a big
Patrick Waugh
fan, but he had some great quotes. That time he tried to deke Gretzky.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, the Colorado Avalanche were once the Quebec Nordiques.
Correct.
They were.
Yes.
And the Carolina Hurricanes were originally the Hartford Whalers.
I know.
Correct.
Interesting NBA things from the 2000s. The Seattle Supersonics moved to
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma
No
in
blunder.
2009. And did you know that Kevin Durant was not selected by the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Seattle.
He was selected by the Seattle Supersonics.
Yep. Back to hockey real quick. I think the Hartford Whalers had one of the best hockey uniforms in all of the NHL.
You could say that.
That bright green was beautiful.
Yeah.
I love speaking of great hockey jerseys, the Lightning's original blacks.
You like the ones?
Oh,
I like the 04, that black. I thought it was a great uniform. I always did. I always liked it.
The old black and white.
And the Lightning announced crew in 04, they were great.
yes.
The team announcers on radio, they were.
That's Dave Michigan and Phil Esposito. They're still
Yeah.
Phil Esposito. Can't
Still-
go wrong.
Are they still there?
still there.
Esposito.
Every once in a while, but if I'm waiting out before a game before we go in, I'll see Dave Michigan walking across out in front of the arena. He'll be walking out to the media entrance, and you can
Right.
see him walk. He's a short guy, and he's really, unless you know what he looks like, he'd walk right by you. You wouldn't even know who he was.
Yeah.
So, but I've seen him at least a handful of times, and I'm just one of these times going to go up to him and go, "Hey man, I gotta get an autograph."
I know, right? Get one for me
Get
too.
an
Tell him
autograph
I think
or
he's.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see him, tell him I think he's great. Tell him he's the reason why I'm a Lightning fan.
Well, and then the Lightning would not be an organization without Phil Esposito. He's the
Right.
one who brought the Lightning to Tampa originally. They were at the Florida State Fairgrounds where our state fair is every year, and they moved from there to Tropicana Field, and now it's called Tropicana Field. But back in the day, it was called the Thunderdome, and then they moved from the Thunderdome to the Ice Palace.
You know how to do
Right.
First moved over to Tampa, the Ice Palace, and then
Right.
it moved. Now it's Amalie Arena, but it had many names before that. St. Pete Times Forum, Tampa Bay Times Forum. It went through a bunch of sponsor names, and now it's
I need
Amalie
to come
Arena.
down there this year and go to a game with you.
Let me know, bud. Well,
Yeah.
check this out. I'm supposed to go to Vegas in February,
Okay.
and guess what's happening while I'm there? The Lightning are playing the Knights in Vegas. Oh
Ooh.
yeah, I'm going. I'm going to
that'll
go
be
see
fun.
them on the
That'll
road.
be
with
fun.
you.
On the road.
I get feedback.
Is that what's going on?
I thought I was hearing something, but I don't know. Me.
So you guys want to go ahead and got any more things you want to talk about?
Yeah, we got a couple more minutes before 9:00. I just kind of I enjoy reminiscing. So
Yeah.
so I was thinking about Boston winning the title in 08 when they who did they beat in 08? Was it the Heat? It doesn't sound right. Who the
They
hell
beat
did
the
they
Heat.
beat? I don't remember who they beat in 08. To win the NBA
I think
championship.
it was it couldn't be Miami.
I want to
because
say it
that's-
was Miami, but that doesn't feel right because in 06 Miami beats the Mavericks.
Yes.
That was talk about a fixed series.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oh,
think
good.
about this, guys. Too. There were three tragic moments in the 2000s that reshaped sports. Starting with 9/11 in 2001, then going to the Boston Marathon bombing.
Right.
What year was that?
2013.
2013, and then the pandemic in 2020.
Right.
Kind of been three moments, and I could be forgetting ones too. Is there another
Yeah.
one that I'm missing?
Senior's death, 2001.
Death in Daytona.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Well,
Who was the IndyCar driver too that died? The famous
there were several
IndyCar driver.
IndyCar drivers that have passed away since 2000.
He died in
there's
Las Vegas, I
Dan-
think, on that track.
Dan Weldon,
That was one of the ones. Yeah.
Dan Weldon, Justin Williams, I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's Robert Wickens, terrible crash at Pocono. Alex Zanardi, I believe that was 2000 when he had both his legs cut off.
There's one.
Yeah, he had both his legs amputated above the knee.
Jesus.
Yeah, motorsports is no joke.
No.
Well,
Those are
anyone out there that says that driving a car or anything that has to do with motorsports, not so much driving cars because there's dirt bikes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
All
any
considered
kind of
part of motorsports.
yeah.
Those guys, trust me,
They're
you're
world
right.
class athletes.
They're no joke.
They're world class athletes.
Correct.
Yeah, could they? I don't think that. It's a different kind of athlete, though. It's
Right. Endurance.
like I don't think they'd be good football players, but I don't think many football players could get into a 4,300-pound race car and take it 200 miles an hour around Michigan.
Yet they want to do professional wrestling or MMA.
Well, wrestling's fake, first off.
Right.
And
MMA.
MMA is just punching people in the face. So,
Yep.
I mean, I think that a lot of guys, a lot of football players will train boxing or mixed martial arts because it helps with your hand-eye coordination, your footwork, your techniques, learning that kind of stuff. Getting hit is good. Those kind of things make sense. But people poo-poo motorsports race car drivers because all they do is sit in a car for 4 hours and say, you got to know what you're doing. You have to be talented.
Yeah.
And those guys, if they had gone a different path, I think the thing about it is like Aaron Rodgers could be a world-class race car driver if from the time he was 6 he had been in go-karts as opposed to on a football field. Alex Rodriguez could have been a great open-wheel driver if he had been racing go-karts and been pursuing that as a career as opposed to playing baseball. I mean, anyone could be, you take a top-tier athlete and put him in any other sport and have him be in that sport from the time he was knee-high to a grasshopper, they'd be a world-class athlete in that sport. World-class athletes are world-class athletes. If they discover the passion and have the passion for it, they'll be a world-class athlete no matter what sport you put them in my opinion.
No, wholeheartedly. Yeah, I was just trying to think back. There were no other the four with Senior, 9/11, the bombing, and then of course the pandemic. What was anything else?
I had one. It's really interesting. Is that the last game of the night was Phillies and Mets, and I want to say it was New York. It was in New York. It was 2011. It was the night they got Bin Laden.
Oh yeah. Yep. USA cheer. Yep.
Yeah. And it was funny because nobody in the stadium knew what was going on. Nobody hadn't been told what was happening.
Right.
And people up in the crowd, they had their phones, and they as the news started to come in and it was confirmed, and then Obama did the press conference, and just the if you ever get a chance, go watch that video of the players talking about what it was like when they got Bin Laden. It's really moving, interesting stuff.
Or the morning of when they got on December 14, 2003, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Insane. That was the same day that my nephew was born, and we had a ridiculous snowstorm that same day where we had to get to the hospital. Because it was 8 inches of snow already on the ground. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a weird day. I mean, it took him forever to get born too. It took him because my sister went into labor that night, and I was visiting. I was just coming away from my girlfriend at the time. Oh boy. And mom was telling me, your sister's went into labor. He's like, good luck. So nothing happened. Then we got to the hospital at 7 a.m. and we heard over the speaker, they got Hussein. Well, and of course we were just still waiting and waiting. And, we waited for 18 hours for my nephew to get born. Ugh.
What about President Bush's first pitch in the World Series?
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Wait, which Bush? Which one?
Junior.
Okay.
Junior.
Yeah, in 2001, in the 2001 World Series.
That's right.
After everything has happened, after everything's kicked off, and and just a moment to feel if normal. Everything's gonna be okay. We can play baseball. We can have fun. Life's gonna be okay.
Well, I think in a way, guys, you can think back to all the tragedies that happened and what happened. Sports was kind of like that draw away, the distraction, if you say, from what was going on. The World Series with the Yankees and the Diamondbacks in 2001. David Ortiz coming out on the mound after the Boston Marathon saying, and I'm going to say this is our fucking city. And then having, stuff like that, those were things. Obviously, in 2020 it was different. Again, me going to a college football game with no fans in the stands, I don't ever want to see that again.
Right.
No.
Right. Just everything coming.
Everyone played with no fans that year. Everyone.
Yeah.
Did. So
it'll be interesting in 10 years when we're talking about 2020 as something as a past event, right? 2020 is still very fresh right now. To be interesting when COVID babies are listening to the show and explaining to them, it's a lot like explaining 9/11 to the younger generation now and how much of an impact it had on our lives. Mm-hmm. And it'll be interesting to see how the world copes with the new reality of a post-COVID world.
Correct.
Right.
So we have the NFC. Where do you guys want to start in the NFC?
We can start in the East.
Yeah, we'll start in the
East.
Particular team.
Okay, so this would be the Eagles, Commanders, Giants, and Cowboys. So here is what they have. Pull this up real quick. Let's see what. Here are. I was clicking the wrong dang button on there. Okay. These are NFC East predictions, division winners, odds, and the best bet. This is props. This is a website that I think does a lot of gambling and sports books.
Yep, sports betting.
Let's see here. Okay, so right now the NFC East odds are as follows. The Dallas Cowboys are a plus 135. The Eagles are a plus 165. The Commanders are a plus 500, and the Giants are a plus 800. Meaning they don't think that the Giants are going to do very well.
They're saying no shot for the Giants.
I think the Giants might do better than the Commanders, so I'm going to give them a little bit of credit.
This is Mac Jones, what, third year, right? Or Daniel Jones, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Wrong Jones. Daniel Jones should be his third year. I don't hate Daniel Jones, honestly. I don't think he's as bad as everyone says he is.
No.
I think that if he can have a chance to develop the Giants organization has been a clown show for 4 years.
Yes.
And if they can get some stability and get some cohesion and they can stay healthy, I think they can become a contender in a couple of years. I think Daniel Jones is another one of those quarterbacks that needs a good running game and a great defense. And he can't, if you don't need him to win you the game, he ain't gonna lose you the game. Right. I don't think he makes too many bad mistakes. And if he cleans that up and he keeps from, he doesn't throw that, take a sack, throw it away, live to play another down. And that's got to be his mantra going into 2022. And
the Giants. Good.
I think that rings true for a lot of quarterbacks. Take a sack, throw the ball away, live to play another down.
The Giants finished 4-13 last year. This is Daniel Jones' fifth year.
Is it really? When
I think it was
fourth year.
How did that happen?
Right. Yep, fourth year.
Fourth year.
Fourth year as the quarterback.
Yes.
They did, of course. We all know because we were here that night that they had a great draft. Both New York teams did. Both the Jets and the Giants both had a good drafts. I think they both got A+s or at least a high A for both of their organizations.
Yeah, like a 95, 96, definitely.
They adjusted. They got what they needed. They needed this, so they got what they needed. They got what they filled the holes that they had.
They bolstered the roster with a couple of high draft picks. So I don't hate where the Giants are at. I hate where the Commanders are at. The Commanders are Dan Snyder needs to be removed first and foremost.
Yes.
I agree.
That would begin to fix things in Washington. Then they need to knock down that stadium and build a new one somewhere else. That'd be good. Other than that, yeah. They're just a couple point guards away from making the playoffs.
If you want to, guys, we can go through the there's Gerald. We can go through the schedules of each of the.
Sorry, I'm
What
late,
team do
guys,
you
but,
not? You don't.
but I had to get some food in the old,
No problem.
stomach.
Yeah, we got
No problem. Completely understand.
Chicken fajitas,
Ooh, nice.
potato salad, and coleslaw.
Nice.
Jesus, that's a good dinner, man.
Yeah.
That's a good dinner. So we'll go through 3 of the teams in the NFC East. We'll skip Washington. So we'll
Sounds
do
good.
Philadelphia, Dallas, and the Giants. I'll start in New York.
Okay.
So let me pop the schedule open, and you guys can let me know if you think it's going to be a win or a loss for the Giants. Why did it go? What the heck is this doing? There
Hey,
it
you
goes.
finally got your camera working.
Yeah, I had to take my green screen away, Gerald, but I did get it to work. So I'm going to go with it for now until I can figure out how to get the thing back. The Giants start on September 11th on the road in Tennessee against the Titans.
Loss.
Tough. Yeah.
loser.
They have
Tough
their
way to
first
start.
home game following week against the Carolina Panthers.
That's a win.
Loss.
That's the winner.
That's a win.
They have another home game against division rival Dallas on the 26th.
Loser.
Loser.
October 2nd, they have another home game against Chicago.
Winner.
Win.
Winner.
Okay. On October 9th, they travel to Lambeau Field to play the Packers.
Forget it.
Loss.
Well, I don't know. It says that's a 9:30. That must be an England game. 9:30
Monday,
a.m.
Monday, yeah.
Yeah, that's across the pond.
Forget it.
across the pond. Okay. The next game, they're at home against Baltimore.
Loss.
Definitely a loss.
Yeah, well, of course.
The next game, guys, they travel to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars.
Winner.
Nah, I say loss.
I think a win.
Jacksonville.
I would
Only-
say I think that'll be a win for the Giants. I think
Yeah,
that'll be a win.
It's the Jaguars.
The next week, they travel to Seattle to play the Seahawks.
That's a
Win.
loss.
Mm,
That's the day before Halloween.
Trick or treat.
they're going to go trick-or-treating, so that's going to be a treat for Seattle.
Think so? I think they
No
can win
doubt.
that one.
November 13th, they're at home against Houston.
Definitely
Win.
a win.
The next week, they're at home against the Detroit Lions.
That's a win.
That's going to be a
Can be a
win.
win.
November 24th, they're on the road in Dallas to play the Cowboys.
Forget it.
That's going
Loss.
to be a loss.
Okay. The following week, they're home against the Commanders.
Win.
Win.
I think it's gonna be a loss.
The week after that, they're at home against the Eagles.
Loser.
That's going to be a loss. Eagles
Wow.
going to
4 division games in a row. Then they're on the road against Washington on December 18th.
Loss.
Loser.
loss.
How they got
No.
4 division games in a row? Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
The following week on Christmas Eve, they're on the road in Minnesota.
Win.
That's going to be a loss.
No,
that's
no,
what-
I think that's one of those ones where Minnesota needs a win to either win the division or make the playoffs, and they lose.
Yeah, I can see the Giants playing quarters on that one.
Yep, exactly. Minnesota will be 11-6, or 10
Yeah.
10-4. They'll be 10-4 with 3 games to go and need a win to leapfrog the Packers, and they just won't get it done because Kirk Cousins throws 2 bad picks.
On New Year's Day, they're at home against Indianapolis.
Loss.
Loss.
Okay. And they end their season on the road in Philadelphia.
Forget it.
That's going
All right. We'll go the Eagles. We'll do Gerald's Cowboys last. Let's do the Eagles.
Ah, I see how you are, Brad.
Well, no, that's why I'm saving the best team to talk about them towards the end instead of
okay.
talking about them. Let's see here. The Eagles. Let's see. Giants are beating the Patriots right now 17-14.
Yes.
In the
What
This
preseason.
game is in
game on?
Just saw that.
NFL Network,
Let's see.
where you are. Well, remember, they went and saved the best for last. Oh,
Okay, so Philadelphia begins their season on the road in Detroit.
that's a winner.
That's gonna be a winner, no doubt.
Lions are trash.
I can take a bunch of high school kids and beat the Lions.
Yeah.
Their first home game is the following week against Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I'll say that's a win.
That's gonna be a loss.
Okay. The following week they're on the road in Washington.
Winner.
Win.
They're back home to play Jacksonville.
Winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
The next week they travel on the road to play the Cardinals in Arizona.
Loss.
Nah,
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Luke on that one. I think that'll be a loss for the Eagles.
yeah, because Kyler Murray's gonna have to prove he's worth that money.
Good luck with that.
The following week they're home against Dallas.
Loser.
I don't know with that Eagle defense. I'm gonna say loser.
The day before Halloween they're home against their in-state rival Pittsburgh.
Winner. Pittsburgh doesn't have it anymore.
I gotta go with the Eagles.
All right. November 3rd, they're on the road in Houston to play the Texans.
Winner.
Definitely a winner.
Okay. They return back home to play Washington on November 14th.
Winner.
Okay. The following week, they are on the road in Indianapolis to play the Colts.
Loser.
Loser.
Okay. They return home on the 27th to play the Packers.
Loser.
Yeah, Packers gonna beat them.
Okay. December 4th, they're at home against Tennessee.
Winner.
Ooh.
I don't know.
about that. King Henry can run the ball
I gotta
against
go
them.
Tennessee on that one.
I was gonna say I'll go with
I
Tennessee.
gotta go Tennessee on that
All
one.
right.
December 11th, they're on the road in New York to play the Giants.
That's gonna be a win.
Winner. Over the turnpike.
The following week, they're on the road in Chicago to play the Bears.
Winner.
Okay.
They're suck.
Christmas Eve, they're on the road in Dallas to play the Cowboys.
Loser. Another beat you from Santa Claus.
They have 2 home games to end the season. The first one's against the Saints.
Winner.
Winner.
And the last game is at home against the Giants.
Winner.
Okay.
Winner, chicken dinner.
All
Yeah.
right. So let's now go talk about the Dallas Cowboys. And then we can go
The Dallas Cowboys.
whatever division you guys want to go to after that one. Let's see. If you guys don't mind talking about the NFC South last, that would be great. Just
Yeah.
because
That's
they're
fine.
my hometown. I'm in the hometown there. So,
Huh.
all right, the
Sounds
Dallas Cowboys begin their season at home against the Buccaneers.
Oh, that's gonna be a win. They're gonna want revenge for last year.
Yes. Winner.
Toss up.
I was gonna say that's a toss-up game between that. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they're. I know they're seeking revenge last year because the Bucs did. But here's my question:
Brad.
how in the world does Dallas get to host twice? The Bucs played Dallas in Dallas last year, so how did the Cowboys
They played in Tampa?
No.
They play in Dallas? They played in Dallas last year.
Yeah.
Both years they played they played the Cowboys on the road. I'm just curious. I was just asking
Yeah.
that question.
Well, you got to remember something, Brad. Our defense has been pretty good.
Oh no, I'm not saying otherwise. I'm just
No, they were in Tampa last year.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were okay. I'm sorry. My fault. No, they were. I'm sorry. The Bucks played in Tampa last year. They were not in Dallas. So now
Correct.
the Cowboys get to host. My fault. Okay, yeah. The Bucks
Yeah.
started last year. Okay.
And
The
Brady,
next week,
just don't have it anymore.
the next week, since the Bengals come to town to play the Cowboys.
That's going to be a loss.
It's gonna be a loss.
Okay.
Damn good.
Dallas gets their first division game against the Giants on the road.
Winner.
Win.
Yeah, win.
Okay.
That's going to be in New Jersey, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
Yeah, that should be a win.
Their first division game happens the following week against Washington.
Win.
Yeah.
The next week they go on the road to play the Rams in Los Angeles.
Loss.
Loser.
Mm,
Loser. Yeah.
that's a toss-up.
Yeah.
The following week they travel to Philadelphia to play the Eagles.
They
Winner.
lose in
That's going to be a toss-up.
Winner.
Okay. The week after that, the Detroit Lions come to town.
Winner.
win.
Yeah. The week after that, the Chicago Bears come to town.
Winner.
Win.
Winner.
Okay. The week
I don't
after,
know though.
The week
That's
after
another.
that,
That's a trap game. What's the game after that?
the Green Bay Packers at
Trap
Lambeau
game.
Field.
They could lose to the Bears. They could very easily lose to the Bears. Looking ahead to Green Bay, they could very easily lose to the Bears.
They'll beat the Bears, but the Packers, no.
They then will go to Minnesota to play the Vikings the week after Green Bay.
Winner.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a win for them.
Okay. Then the Giants come to town on November 24th.
Winner.
Win.
Then the Colts come to town on December 4th.
Lose.
Loser.
Okay.
They could win that one.
The Battle of Texas on December 11th, Houston versus Dallas.
Winner.
They have to win that game.
Winner.
No excuse.
Then the Cowboys travel to Jacksonville on December 18th.
Winner.
Yeah,
That's a
winner.
win.
Christmas Eve, the Eagles come to visit.
No Santa Claus in your stocking, Philly.
Exactly.
December 29th, they're on the road in Tennessee to play the Titans.
Winner.
Yeah,
That's
they
going to be a
should.
loss.
And then they end the season on the road in Washington.
Winner.
Win.
All right.
And they
All right.
Rudolph. They made Rudolph.
So do you guys want to go to the West or the North next?
West.
Okay.
The West. NFC West. San Francisco, Seattle, Arizona, and Los Angeles. Okay.
Arizona, Los Angeles, San Francisco.
Yeah.
So you want to skip the Seahawks? Is that what you want to do? You want to skip Seattle?
Yep.
Check. So here are predictions and previews for them. Arizona, let's see. Biggest weakness is their secondary. The Rams, their biggest weakness is their offensive line. 49ers, the interior offensive line is weak. And then the Seahawks, obviously, is quarterback. We all pretty much
Seahawks
say
is
that.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start in San Francisco.
I didn't leave my heart there, so.
Oh.
I'm not too high on Trey. What's his
I
name?
get it.
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
Yeah, I'm not too high on him
Yeah.
either. I don't know if he's that much of an improvement over Jimmy Garoppolo.
I don't think
No.
I don't think he's ready.
Problem is that they've got, you can't have two number ones.
Okay, so San Francisco starts their season on the road in Chicago.
Win.
Winner.
Win.
Okay. They come home for their first divisional game against Seattle on the 18th.
Win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Win.
They don't travel too far from home as they head to Denver to play the Broncos on the 25th.
Loser.
Win. The Broncos are in trouble. They're in big trouble.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a win.
The first true test against the Rams is on October 3rd at home. At home.
They get the
Loser.
Rams at home.
Loser.
I'll take them to win at
Loser.
home.
Okay. The following week, they travel to Carolina to play the Panthers.
Winner.
Well,
Yeah.
this depends on who's starting quarterback for the Panthers.
Okay.
Either way, that's still a winner.
Yeah.
I got to give that one a toss up.
I will say that the West Coast teams do struggle on the East.
The following week, they're in Atlanta to play the Falcons. Are they going to lose 2 games in a row?
No.
That's a win.
Oh,
Okay.
Against
Okay,
the
that
Dirty
should be a
Bird.
win.
The following week, they are at home hosting the Chiefs.
Loser.
lose.
Yeah.
Okay. The following week, they travel to Los Angeles to play the Rams.
Forget it.
Loss.
Rams
Okay.
going to spank that butt.
They come home to play the other Los Angeles team,
That could be a winner.
Chargers.
That's a toss up.
That's going Chargers.
Yeah, that's a toss up there.
Okay. The following week, they're in Arizona to play the Cardinals. That's a
Toss
toss-up.
up.
That's a toss-up. That's a toss-up.
Yeah.
Another toss up.
November 27th, they're at home against the Saints.
Win.
Winner.
Win.
Winner.
Okay. The next week, they're at home against Miami.
Now
Win.
here's my question before I answer this. Do y'all think this is going to be Tua's year to do something?
No.
Yes. It has
If they put him in the right system and give him the tools to win, he can win.
Yes. He proved that at Alabama.
I'm
No.
going to say Miami could possibly win it, so I'm going to go loss.
Okay. The following week, they're home against the Buccaneers.
Loss.
Loss.
Okay. The following week, they're on the road in Seattle for the Seahawks.
That's going to be a win.
Yeah, they should win that one.
That could be a win, yes. All right.
The week after that, they return home to play Washington on Christmas Eve.
Winner.
Win.
It should be a win.
On New Year's Day, they're on the road in Vegas to play the Raiders. Which makes it-
Loss.
Yeah, loss.
Loss. Yeah.
That's a old fashioned big rivalry game back in the day when
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
in Oakland. And they end the season, guys, at home against Arizona.
Win.
Yeah, win.
Win? Okay. Then that
Win.
leaves
You know,
the Rams.
in those divisional matchups, unless it's obviously that they're a much superior team, like Dallas playing New York or Washington, I think the home team wins the home games. I think they split. I think most division games are a split. The home team wins more times than not. Should we do the North next then?
I got the Rams yet before we get out of the West. Hang on just a second.
Oh yeah.
Also,
I forgot
guys,
about
I've set up an interview next week with a New England Patriot writer.
Okay, cool.
He's been commenting, tagging me in New England Patriot groups. So I'm gonna have him come on next week and
Sounds
kind of
good.
talk some Patriot. We could talk about Mac and all them because we got to get Von Allen back on here. He needs to come back on here badly.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
So the Rams don't have the easiest start to the season. They're at home against Buffalo. That's a
Right. That could be a Super Bowl preview right there.
That's a
That's
Super Bowl
a
preview
dog
right
fight.
there.
That's going to be a dog fight.
Honestly, I like Buffalo.
I do too.
Von
Yeah.
Miller and
Von Miller changed teams, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Von Miller's in Buffalo now. I think he's the missing piece in Buffalo.
Okay.
Get it done.
The next game, they're at home against Atlanta.
Winner.
Winner.
Can't lose to Atlanta. Can't
The
lose to
first-
Atlanta.
The first division game, guys, they're on the road in Arizona.
That's
Ooh,
going to be a win.
that's
That's going to be a winner.
toss up. I'm gonna throw that out there as a toss up.
Okay.
Okay. They have another division game the following week in San Francisco.
We
Winner.
said that was a loss or a
Okay.
win. I don't remember. I
What?
think that could be a loss.
The following week, they're at home against Dallas, against the Cowboys.
Following week.
Loser.
Win.
Dallas upsets them. Okay.
You think so?
I
No, Dallas will win. Dallas will win.
Dallas will win
You
that one.
think so?
Okay.
What makes you say that? I'm curious.
I do. I think Dallas can. I think Dallas can beat them easily. I really do.
The following week, they're home against Carolina.
Win.
They're home against San Francisco the day before Halloween.
Win.
Okay. The following week, they're on the road in Tampa. Rematch of the divisional game from last year.
That's gonna be a loss.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I know. I was leaning towards the
I
top.
don't know about that. That's one of the. I'm writing a Bucks article. I just finished it today. And I think this is one of the games I had listed down. The Bucks were going to lose.
Oh, yeah, Bucks going to lose this one.
To the Rams, yeah, it's questionable. We'll see.
Yeah.
The following week they're at home against Arizona, so both of those
Exactly.
games are going to be hard to pick.
Yeah.
You know, with the Cardinals.
That one should be a win. They should win the home game.
Win the home game. Okay.
Yeah, I like I said, I think most your divisional games are going to be a win for the home team.
The next game, guys, they're on the road against the Saints.
Win.
They'll win that one.
Should
Okay.
win. Yeah.
Here's another Super Bowl preview. The following week, they're in Arrowhead to play the Chiefs.
I don't think the Chiefs make the Super Bowl.
Nope.
No.
I don't. I think they lose in the divisional round. I like the Rams in that matchup.
I do too.
The following week, they're at home against the Seahawks.
Win.
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 The week after that, they welcome in the team from Vegas, the Raiders.
Ooh, that's going to be a
Loss.
good game.
I think
like
it
the
will be
Raiders.
lost. I think the
It is a
Raiders will
loss.
this year.
I
Yeah.
think the Raiders are going to surprise a lot of people this year.
Yeah.
I'm big on the Raiders.
So you think the Raiders are going to beat the Rams?
I think
I
they
do.
can.
I do.
I think the Raiders are going to win that division. So I've been on record saying that the Raiders are
Okay.
sneaky good, and I love the addition of Devontae Adams. I think that makes them a complete team.
The following week, they're on the road in Lambeau Field against the Packers. That should be
Forget
easy.
it. Forget it.
That's going to be a win.
Yeah,
Get it, right?
we'll get to the Packers here in a minute.
The following week, they're at home against the Broncos on Christmas Day.
That should
That's
be
going to be
a
a win.
That's a win.
Okay.
hello.
January 1st, they welcome in their same town rival, the Chargers.
Ooh.
Winner.
And the
They
Chargers
should
are the
win.
home team in that game. They're not the road
Winner.
team. So.
I don't know about that one. I would have to give that one a toss up.
I agree. I think they will win, but I can see where it's tough to pick, man. Chargers are going to be a good team. I think the Chargers are the wild card out of the West.
And the last game is on the road, guys, against the Seahawks, their division rival.
Oh,
Winner.
that's a win.
That's going to be a win.
Okay, so now the NFC North. So who do you guys want to skip? Chicago? You want to
Yep.
skip Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
skip Chicago.
Yeah, forget the Bears.
Okay, so we'll start with Minnesota if you want to start there.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I'm high on Minnesota. I think they win. I think they can win the division this year. I'm thinking that Kirk Cousins without who was the coach there last year? His name's escaping me now.
In
Minnesota.
Shermer. Wasn't it
Yeah.
Shermer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his
With
name?
him gone, I think that Kirk Cousins has a really strong body of work, and he doesn't get he doesn't get nearly the credit he deserves for his body of work. If Dalvin Cook can be healthy, I think Minnesota's going to be dangerous this year. And before we get into the win-loss, I want to talk about the Packers real quick. But I just don't understand that offense doesn't have anything for Rodgers to throw to. They don't have a running game. And I think there's just I just don't see it, and that defense is going to be gassed. That they're going to be out there so much because the Packers are going to have a lot of 3-and-outs this year. I just don't see it. I need the Packers they're in for a real struggle this year. I think the Packers miss the playoffs. I have the Packers missing the playoffs.
Speaking of Green Bay, that's who Minnesota opens up with at home.
And they win that game.
Right.
Okay. Then Minnesota travels to Philadelphia in week 2.
That's a loss.
That's a loss.
That's going to be a loss.
In week 3, they hosted the Lions.
That's
Winner.
Okay.
Right.
They then travel to New Orleans to play the Saints.
That's a
Winner.
win.
Win.
They get the Chicago Bears at home.
Win.
Okay. The following week, they are in Miami to play the Dolphins.
Winner.
Win.
The week after that, they're home to host the Cardinals.
Win.
Win.
Toss up.
The week after that, they are on the road in Washington.
Win.
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 The week after that, they are on the road in Buffalo.
Loser.
Loser.
Tough loss though. It's close.
Yeah.
The week after that, they're home against the Cowboys.
Loser.
Win.
I don't know about that.
No.
I'm going to have to go loser.
Okay. The week after that, they're home against the Patriots.
Winner.
Win.
You think
Yeah.
so, Lou?
Yeah,
I
come
do.
on. This is not
It's a home
this is
game.
not Tom Brady's Patriots anymore, you know.
True.
Minnesota's at home. I'm going to give the edge to the Vikings in that
Yeah,
game.
that too.
Me too.
Yep.
The following week, they're home against the Jets.
Win.
No, I think they're gonna lose that because I think the Jets might have some this year.
The week
I
after
don't-
that,
I don't
they're
know. I got to go with I got to go with Minnesota.
Okay.
the week after that, they're home. They're on the road against the Lions.
Win.
Win.
Okay. The week after that, they return home to play Indianapolis.
Win.
Yeah.
Toss up.
I'm going to go with the Colts on that one. I think if
This
That's
quarterback-
Jonathan Taylor and them can run and Matt Ryan does well, I could see that. But
Yeah.
Minnesota's at home. That could factor into that
Yeah.
too.
I agree with toss up. Toss up leaning win.
The following week is Christmas Eve. They will host the Giants.
Win.
Win.
Okay. On New Year's Day, they're in Green Bay to play the Packers.
Loser.
Win.
Yeah.
Okay. And they end the season on the road in Chicago.
Win.
Win.
Okay.
I really like Minnesota this year.
Okay. So that you want to go Green Bay or you want to go to Detroit next?
You can do either
Packers.
one. Packers sound good to me.
Okay.
Now, my question is, who does Rodgers have to throw to now since they don't have Devontae Adams?
Eddie Lazaro and Sammy Watkins and a couple of high school kids.
Draft the fresh kids from the draft. They drafted.
Who they can no, that's what I'm saying. I was like, I
don't think they didn't even draft a wide receiver in the first round either.
no, they waited in like the 4th round.
Yeah. Yep.
Fourth or fifth?
Yeah,
So you guys had them losing to Minnesota in week 1, correct?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So week 2, they're at home against Chicago.
That's a
Win.
win.
Week 3, I hope to be at this game. They're on the road in Tampa.
That's a loss.
That's going to be a loss. Tampa's going to
Loss.
walk over them.
The following week, they're home to host the Patriots.
Winner.
Loss.
I'm gonna go with a loss. I think New
I'm going
England
to go
will
with the
win.
loss.
What I saw from the New England second team, Their offense is going to be scary good. Wait
week
until
after-
Mac Jones gets to start.
The week
I-
after
I-
that, they're home against the Giants.
That's
Winner.
a win.
That's gonna be a win.
Okay. Okay. The week after that, they're hosting the Jets. So they got the Giants and the Jets back to back.
That's a loss.
That's going to be a loss.
I
You think-
agree. I think the
you think
Jets take
The
them.
Jets are going to beat the Packers.
In Green Bay too.
Yeah, in Green Bay.
Yep.
I think that's going to be an upset game. Yep.
I got to go with a loss.
Okay. The week after that, they travel to Washington to play the Commanders.
Winner.
That should be a win.
Winner.
Okay. The week after that, they are on the road in Buffalo.
Loss.
Loser.
Yeah, I think the
They
Bills
get killed in
out.
Buffalo.
The week after that, they're home again. They're on the road in Detroit.
Winner.
Loss.
Sucks.
You think Detroit's going to beat the Packers?
In
At
Detroit.
home. At home. Yeah, I would. Yeah. At home,
Wow.
that could happen.
Uh,
The week after that, they're hosting the Dallas Cowboys.
That's a
Loser.
loss.
Yeah,
The
loser.
week after that, they're hosting the Titans, Tennessee.
Loss.
That's going to be a loss.
That's a loss.
Okay. The week after that, they travel to Philadelphia.
Loss.
Oh, yeah. That
Loser.
Philadelphia defense is going to be scary this year.
Mm-hmm.
The week after that, they travel to Chicago to play the Bears.
Winner.
Win.
Oh, yeah, win.
The week after that, they're home to host the Rams.
Loss.
Loser.
Loser.
Christmas Day, they're here in Miami to play the Dolphins.
Loser.
That could, I'm gonna have that as a toss-up.
And then the last two games are both at home. New Year's Day, they're at home against the Vikings.
Winner.
Winner.
Loss.
Yeah. And then they have the Lions to end the season at home on the 8th of June.
And that one they'll win.
That's going to be, yeah.
All right.
Because Detroit will be there. They'll be 8-8 and need a win, and they won't get that win.
It's 2014 now.
2014. So the NFC South, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, the Saints, and the Panthers. So who are we exiting out of?
The Saints.
Yeah.
The Saints? Okay.
All right, Saints.
So let's start with the Atlanta Falcons. The new look. Going Matt Ryan. Now it's Marcus Mariota, and then Desmond Ridder, I think, will be the starting quarterback before it's all said and done, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
They wouldn't have drafted him where he was at if they didn't. They weren't going to start him.
They kind of got a gift with him dropping to the 5th round. I'm surprised he stayed on the
That's
board
true.
that long.
That's very, very true. Very true. Okay, so the Falcons begin their season. Let me see here. Oh, how did I click on that? They have a preseason game against the Lions tomorrow.
Yep.
They start
Who cares about preseason?
Yeah.
Football is football, man.
where they start their regular season at home against the Saints.
Win.
Win.
Loss.
I'm not going to say it's a loss. The next game, they're on the road in Los Angeles to play the Rams.
Loss.
Loss.
Okay. The next game, they are on the road in Seattle against the Seahawks.
Win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a toss up on a bet. It's a toss up, and it is not in a good way.
Right.
That's a tank goal.
The following week, they're at home against Cleveland.
Winner.
Ooh. Loss.
I got to go with winner. Because they're not going to have Browns are not going to have Watson.
Right.
The week after that, they're on the road in Tampa.
Loser.
Loss.
Okay.
Loss. Tampa's going to whip them.
The week after that, they're at home against San Francisco.
Loss.
49ers.
Yes. The week after that, they're on the road in Cincinnati.
Loser.
Loss.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they lose that game. The game after that, they're home against Carolina. That's going to be up in the air game.
Yeah, and not in a good way either.
That's a winner.
I got to give that one a toss up.
The week after that, they're. Go ahead.
I said Tank Bowl.
The week after that,
Tank Bowl.
they're home against the Chargers.
Loss.
Winner.
So I think
Winner.
they lose to a lot. They
You think the Falcons are gonna beat the Chargers?
yeah, I've been.
No.
LA.
No.
I'm gonna go with LA. Yeah.
The Chargers are going to win that one.
Okay.
So then now we flip the script. Now Atlanta's on the road in Carolina 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Loss.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be a loss.
The following week they host Chicago.
Winner.
Win.
Okay.
Yeah.
The week after that they travel to Washington.
Win.
Washington.
Yeah, I'll say win.
Yeah, I'd say a win.
The week after that they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Win.
Loss.
This is their second to last division game. They're on the road in against the Saints.
That's going to be a win.
Yes.
Loss. In New Orleans? No.
Then they're on the road in Baltimore on Christmas Eve.
Winner.
Winner.
Loss.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to beat Baltimore.
They could. They could be definitely going in there to play spoiler.
Correct.
Yeah.
Very likely. Very likely. They have 2 home games to end the season on New Year's Day. The first game they host Arizona,
Winner.
and then their
Loss.
final game will be against the Buccaneers on January 8th.
Loss.
Loser.
They're going to lose the last 2 games of the season.
Late in the year, those games. I think this all comes under the caveat of, and with the disclaimer of that none of these are set in stone, and we're at liberty to change our opinions as the season progresses. Because of the fact that we don't, we've just, this is the full week of a full slate of preseason games, and so far most teams aren't starting their number ones. So I think this falls under definitely under the caveat of there's nothing set in stone. So feel free to not hold us to these predictions.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Right.
Well, and then when we get as we get into the season, Gerald, he's still new, but we'll go through and pick. We'll go through the lines.
Yeah, like
I've been hosting the show now for 22 episodes.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. So we'll go through
like we do every year.
every week.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have
every
it.
week
The college
we get
first,
these.
then the pros. Yep.
and we do over and under, and we pick winners and over unders.
Correct. Over under.
Okay, well, for the first week, I'll just sit back and watch y'all see how it's done.
Okay.
It's not.
Well,
it's
what
not
we'll do, Gerald, is what we'll say the over under is 65, and the line is the Eagles by 5.5. And you would say, okay, I'll take the over and the points, or I'll take the over and the other team. So it just depends on how you look at it.
Oh, okay.
We'll walk you through it when it
kind of
when
like
it
what we're
comes
doing
that
now, but with more detail because
correct.
we have the money
Correct.
line, and we have the point spread.
Well, just walk me through it. Show me how it's done.
It's really fun.
Right.
We usually do the top 25 in college football. So
And any big non
Yeah,
25 games.
I already got the top 25 downloaded. If you want me to do it real quick.
What we do is we.
go ahead. Well, I was gonna say, hang on just a second. Go ahead, Adam.
Well, I was gonna say what we do is we go through the matchups each week
Yep.
in both pro and college football.
So the
But did you want me to do,
Panthers.
Did you want
Go
me to
ahead.
do the coaches' rankings real quick for the,
Sure.
Sure.
for
Hit that
the
real quick.
college?
Go right ahead.
Okay, number 1 is Alabama. No surprise. Number 2 is Ohio State. Number 3 is Georgia. 4 is Clemson. 5 is Notre Dame. 6 is Michigan. 7 is A&M. 8 is Utah. 9 is Oklahoma. 10 is Baylor. 11 is OK State. Number 12 is Oregon. 13 is NC State. 14 is Missouri State. 15 is USC. 16 is Pitt. 17 is Miami. 18 is Texas. 19 is Wake Forest. 20 is Wisconsin. 21 is Kansas. 22 is Cincinnati. 23 is Arkansas. 24 Missouri. 25 is Houston.
Okay. Yeah.
But what I don't agree with is how come Ohio State jumped Georgia.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I mean,
I'm
well,
not going to say anything. I'm an SEC biased here. You're not going to get any. I'm sorry. I'm going
and
to.
I hate Ohio State, so
I'm an SEC bias when it comes to that. So, all I'm going to say is we'll see at the end of the season. Because,
Yeah.
again, it could be Alabama and Georgia again in the national
be.
title.
Well, I don't know. But if Georgia's going to lose a lot of players, I don't think they're going to be able to stack up to it.
I don't see Georgia making the playoffs this year.
I wouldn't say they're not going to the playoffs. I just don't think they're going to make it to the
Kirby
to the
reloaded. Kirby reloaded. He trust
Kirby
me. He
fully
reloaded.
loaded.
Put it out.
Kirby reload.
He reloaded. He reloaded everything. Everything
Yeah.
they lost, he got them all back. So
Yep.
I'm not going to be surprised
Maybe-
a bit. If
Maybe
Georgia-
not this year, but definitely next year. There may
Correct.
be some growing pains down there in Athens, but
not going
Kirby's a
away.
great coach,
But
and
the
they're not
game
going
I'm waiting
anywhere
on-
anytime soon.
The game I'm
I
waiting
hate
on
to say as a
start the
Gator
college-
fan, but they're not going
to
away.
start the college season. Adam, you and I talked about this. Texas and Alabama. I'm waiting
It's
on
going to
that
set the
game.
tone for the year.
I'm waiting on it. I'm sitting here
Wake
counting
me up
the
when
days.
September begins.
I'm counting the days until that
Weeks
game.
away. We're a
Yeah,
couple
couple
weeks
weeks.
away from the season's.
Too many weeks, damn it.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Speaking of A&M, you mentioned them, Gerald. Do you think in a bright spot that they have an opportunity to go to Tuscaloosa and beat them?
Not a chance in hell.
Not a
Not
chance
a
in
chance
not a
in hell.
chance in hot hell.
Hell no.
I'm just asking
Hell
that question
no.
because
Not
But now, if they come down to College, if Alabama comes down to College Station, I'll
No,
give
it's in-
A&M a shot.
No.
it's in Tuscaloosa.
see what
Yeah.
what they done screwed up. You messed up there, Jimbo. Is you talking trash to Nick Saban, and you know
Well,
Nick Saban, his boys hear everything,
Yes.
and Nick Saban don't let nobody forget. Nick Saban don't let nobody forget,
Nope.
and he gonna have him fired the F up and ready to go in Tuscaloosa. It's gonna be a massacre.
Yeah.
So Carolina starts their season at home against the Browns. So Baker Mayfield gets an opportunity to play his own
Winner.
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 Well,
Okay.
I
wait a
just
minute.
I don't
Wait a
see
minute.
it.
Wait a minute. Y'all heard that Myles Garrett does not like Baker Mayfield.
Correct.
I think if Myles Garrett can get to Baker and shake him up, Carolina loses.
Yeah.
Especially if they make a move to go get Jimmy G.
True.
I don't see that happening.
Well, now I'm hearing that Kareem Hunt wants out in.
I'll tell you the reason why I don't see the Browns going after Jimmy G. They got Watson. They got Jacoby Brown, Brissett, and then they got that third string QB. So they're set at QB.
And it depends on how the arbiter rules. If they give Watson a full year, they may try to go get Jimmy for one.
Yeah, so that way they can have that proven veteran starter to step
Yep.
in and take over for that 1 year.
and
Right.
then release him at the end of the year, or not re-sign him when Watson is fully ready to go. We'll see here in a couple weeks.
The next game is on the
Yeah,
road
but
against.
what would you give up for Jimmy G?
Yeah.
Hunt in a second. If Hunt wants out, if he doesn't want to play there anymore, send him to San Francisco and take Jimmy G off their hands in a second.
Yeah.
That's my offer right now. This is my offer on the table. Kareem Hunt and a second for Jimmy G and a fourth.
Yes.
I would make that deal too.
That's where I'm playing ball right now.
Because Jimmy G is a proven starter.
He's a proven starter. He's a winner. He's a playoff winner. And he's stability. He's consistency. He's not going to lose you the game. He may not win you a game, but he sure as hell ain't going to lose you a game.
No.
He's gonna keep you in games.
Yep. All right. So
Panthers in week 2 are on the road in the Meadowlands to play the Giants.
Win.
Toss up. Both teams are terrible.
Loser.
The following week they're home to host the Saints.
Loss.
You think the Saints are going to beat Carolina?
Winner.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That Saints defense is pretty good, and they can get after the quarterback.
The following week they're hosting the Arizona Cardinals.
Loss.
Winner.
Really? You think they'll beat the Cardinals?
I do. They're not going to be on it last year.
The week after that they're home against the 49ers.
That's a winner.
Loss.
The week after that they are on the road against the Rams.
Loss.
Loser.
The week after that they're home against Tampa Bay.
Loser.
Yeah. Loser.
On the day before Halloween they are on the road against the Falcons.
On the
Winner.
road against the Falcons. Toss up.
Dirty
Uh,
bird.
The week after that they are on the road in Cincinnati.
Loss.
Loss.
Yeah. I think they lose that game.
Sorry, not too much, guys, but my left knee's hurting.
Oh yeah, you're good.
You're good, Gerald. The next week they're home against Atlanta.
Winner.
Home against
Tie.
the
Tie.
Tie. The week after that
We all lose.
they're on the road in Baltimore.
Loss.
Loss?
That's going to
Okay.
be a loss.
The week after that they're home against the Broncos.
That's a win.
Win, definitely.
That's a loss, and we all lose.
The week after that they're on the road in Seattle.
Loss.
Win.
Okay.
Tie, and we all lose.
The next game they're at home against Pittsburgh.
Winner.
Loss.
Loss.
The week after that, Christmas Eve, they will host the Detroit Lions.
Winner.
Win.
Okay.
It's the Lions for crying out loud.
The week after
Honestly, how many games do y'all think the Lions are going to win this year?
1.
8.
I'd say 8.
Wow.
I say 3.
You got more confidence than I do.
The Panthers have 2 road games in the season. On New Year's Day, they're in Tampa to play the Buccaneers.
Loser.
Loss.
Okay. And the last game, they're on the road to play the Saints.
Loss.
Loss.
All right. So that leaves the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the team left.
Buccaneers.
I tell you, I'm going to say this right now. And don't hold me to this. It's just my prediction.
Okay.
But you know what? You know we can change predictions at any time.
Right.
I'm going to say the NFC championship game. Going to come down to the Buccaneers and the Rams.
Okay.
It depends on how the seating works.
Yeah.
That's just my prediction as of right now.
Sure.
As we get into the season, I can I see what's going on, and I'm
Right, definitely.
Well, the Bucks
I'm-
begin the season in Dallas.
That's a win.
They
My
win
bold prediction for the NFC Championship game is Minnesota and Tampa Bay.
Uh-huh.
Said it was bold. That's half bold.
Right.
Bradley, what's your prediction?
For the NFC Championship game?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what?
Don't put him on the spot there,
Rams.
Gerald. Jeez.
No. Hang on a second. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna say Rams and Bucks again, like it was. That wasn't that way last year, but I just think at the end, if everyone can stay healthy, because remember Stafford's got an issue. Brady's going to have 3 new offensive linemen, so we'll see how they are when it's all said and done.
Luke, what's your prediction?
So,
wait for which team?
For the NFC Championship.
The NFC Championship.
Okay. All right. Oh, it's a tough one.
It's tough.
Rams versus. Okay. Rams versus. Oh. Rams versus. That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's really tough. There's so many teams. It could be Minnesota, it could be Green Bay, it could be Dallas, it could be Philly, it could
Don't
be
make,
Tampa.
don't make me laugh, Adam, by saying Dallas.
Why not?
Why not? Why couldn't it be Dallas? Why not? It's too early to
It'd be a
predict.
miracle season.
Rams Dallas. I like. I'm gonna go Rams Dallas.
Okay. Rams and Cowboys.
Now, for the AFC Championship game, I got to go with Buffalo and Kansas City.
Buffalo and Cincinnati.
Buffalo,
Cincinnati. Rematch.
Yep. Bengals. Yep.
You think it's gonna be Buffalo and Cincinnati?
Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%. It's gonna be a great game too. No matter, it's gonna be miserable and cold no matter where they play.
Yep.
It's gonna be
Iowa
fun.
or in New York. Yep.
I kind of hope it's in Buffalo. I want Bills Mafia there, man. Bills Mafia is the best fan base in sports.
But guys, I have the Buccaneers. I just wrote an article today. I have them going 13-4 this year.
I like it.
Okay.
I got my Cowboys on the low end going 9-8.
Okay.
And on the high end 10-7.
I like 9-8 on the low end and 12-5 on the high end.
Right.
That's a touchdown.
Well, with that, guys, that's the show. Does anybody else want to have any final thoughts?
No.
Anything other than Serena Williams announcing her retirement?
Well, why not?
One other thing, Brad.
That was going to happen.
Did you see that story about in the Little League World Series where that pitcher hit that young kid?
I did.
Yeah.
My roommate
Well,
told me
wasn't
about
that
that story
sportsmanship?
today.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that sportsmanship when that kid walked out there and hugged that pitcher and told him, "Look, it's gonna be okay. I'm fine."
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we were talking about that, Gerald, early on in the show. It's about sportsmanship when it comes to Little League baseball.
Yeah,
Don't yell at kids. Don't make them play sports. Don't yell at them. Don't get mad at them. They're just trying to have fun. That's all it's about.
Right.
Is them having fun.
But
And- Yeah.
when I seen that, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That means that tells you there's still some good kids out there that like to play the game for the
And
game.
the game is now tied 2020.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody, you want to go ahead, guys? You want to go ahead and talk about your shows coming up?
Well,
You're
I'll
ready.
be discussing that with the Little League on Saturday. See what people thought. We'll also do MLB. We'll also cover with NFL preseason. We'll recap on the Hall of Fame inductees, see if you agree with the list, see if you don't. I'm sure there's some of you out there who don't agree with it, of course. We still got some basketball, hockey news to take care of, and hopefully Steve will have his UFC report on the Enhanced Sports Show Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m. East Coast time. The number, simple, 512-543-4662. I'll repeat that again, 512-543-4662. And remember, that's 5 o'clock East Coast time. Not 5 o'clock in Nova Scotia, not 5 o'clock in Los Angeles, 5 o'clock Eastern time, which is 4 where you are.
4 o'clock.
That's good.
Anybody else want to do anything before I close it out?
If I can get the stuff together, I'll be doing the 9x9 in 9 innings challenge on Saturday afternoon. It's 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, and a 9-inning baseball game. The game will be Tampa Bay and Baltimore. Yes, Saturday afternoon. I believe that game is in Tampa. So
Yes,
if I can get the stuff for that together, I will be doing that this Saturday. If not this Saturday, that will be postponed until next Saturday.
Is this a live event?
Well, actually,
Oh,
but
yeah.
if you want to hold off till next Saturday, I'll be at the Rays game the following.
I don't know if I'll be able to get
yeah.
that game next Saturday.
It's a 4:30 first pitch against Kansas City. So
I
that's
don't know if that game will be available in my area. So
Yeah.
if it is, then maybe. But if not, then it'll be some other game if I can't get the things together for it.
Right.
Live on my TikTok. So if you want to come check that out, it's Aries 1445 on TikTok. And that's what I got.
All right. Well, with that, guys, thanks everybody for joining us this evening. Whether here again, if you didn't catch any of the show, you want to catch it in its entirety, head over to the Walker Report YouTube channel. The show will be posted up immediately following the show. We want to, as we always do, thank our first responders and our men and women of our armed services. Thank you guys so much for what you do. We would not be here without you guys. Trust me, we would not be here without you guys, what you guys do. So thank you for your sacrifices. To our sponsors, TradingZenSpaces.com and Jarrett's Carrots. Again, this has been the Walker Report, part of In the Zone Sports Talk Radio and part of NGSC Sports. And guys, also too, Gerald and Lou and myself are part of just a few of the shows on In the Zone. Please head over there. Kevin has got a great show. There's a lot of good shows over there. Please head over to their Facebook page.
Yeah.
Check all the shows out because they all do a hell of a job with their shows. Until then, guys, next week we're going to be back to our normal show next week. I'm working on, again, I think I may have a Patriot writer coming on to talk about Patriot football next week. You guys can argue with him. I don't think he really cares.
Oh, I'm sure we'll have an argument or two.
But anyway, guys, until then, everyone, stay safe out there. Enjoy your weekend. We are now through the mid part of August. Here in Florida, we're starting to look at hurricanes. It's that time of the year.
And I want to mention one thing also. If y'all want up-to-date weather reports, look up Extreme Storm Team on Facebook. That's my weather team. We are monitored 24/7, 365 days a year. So if you want up-to-date weather reports, head on over, check us out.
And trust me, they send about a notification about every few minutes about
Yes, they
anything
do.
And that's what we do.
They're great. They are great.
Stay informed.
They are great. Until then, guys, everyone, like I said, we love all you guys. Thanks for everyone that came on via Facebook or later on during YouTube. Thank you for that. Until then, guys, I am the sports star Bradley Walker. Peace.
Cut, print, send it.
There you go.